Good morning, LinkedIn friends, HubSpot Nation, YouTube, wherever you might be joining us this morning. Maybe you're just listening in. Welcome to another edition of Let's Build AI Skills with Nico, George, and Chris. It is Friday, April 18th, 2025. How you fellas doing this morning?
I'm a little
Good.
excited.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I
Yeah.
mean, shoot, bro, we got an agenda for today. I'm doing great.
Yeah, we'll see if we can stick to it. The reason I don't usually have is we're not good at that part. But here's what we're gonna do, because there's so much going on. We all are excited to talk about some stuff. George gave me a heads up after our Tuesday call that some cool Google integration was happening with Claude. So I'll hit that first.
Yeah.
We've got new GPT image libraries that George is going to hit on. And then Tango yesterday drops a CRM admin through the browser.
Oh my.
Yeah, interesting times, folks. So I'll start sharing my screen here, and we'll see how it goes. But basically, either last week's episode or the week before that, I came on sharing my frustrations with how I spent all weekend trying to set up an MCP with Claude so that it could go see my Google Workspace, Google Drive, Google like Gmail, and the calendar. And I got 95% of the way there, following all of Claude's instructions, downloading new apps and software, and working in the command line in ways I never have before. But couldn't cross,
Proud of you, buddy. Proud of you.
couldn't cross that last mile for Claude to actually be able to see anything in Google. That's where, no matter how much we like, for me, I like to get stuff done in Claude because he's in context. It's always in context, right? So as soon as I have to go out somewhere else, it's less possible for him to help me, right? So fast forward to this week, we can integrate. It is integrated with Drive search, Gmail search, calendar search. And here's what that can look like. So use a project. Let's see here, search projects, executive assistant. All right. Good morning, Claude. Thinking a little bit. Not to mention, there's a new research beta down here. Good morning. I'll help you start your day by checking your calendar, email, and Google Drive for the most up-to-date information.
This was awesome. Chris was showing me this yesterday, and I don't know how, like we were talking about, what we could do to supercharge this capability a little bit. And I don't know how anybody, can you zoom that in a little bit? I don't know how anyone sees this and sees this demo, especially if you're admin or if you're leadership and you don't immediately run out and get this and start doing this every single day.
A morning briefing. Oh my God.
Dude, wait for it. That's literally just the beginning.
And
sorry,
so
I didn't mean to say literally.
The fact that we're past this time, we've got Let's Build AI Skills, the show around right now.
Hey, that's us.
It's picking up that it's on StreamYard, which is only via the link in the destination of the Google calendar. Got some working sessions. Got midday, afternoon, key updates. Oh, thanks. Happy birthday. Today is my birthday.
Ta-da!
Thank you, Claude.
Happy birthday, brother.
Well, happy birthday, man.
Oh, see, I hadn't even gotten here yet. HubSpot inbound correspondence selection. I've been selected.
Wow, congratulations. Look at that. Happy birthday.
There we go.
That email this morning too. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Let's build AI skills stream, recent work, priority action items, important
Ooh.
emails, strategic context.
Oh, Anthropics. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Integrate with ClickUp.
I know. Right. No, that's where we're going, right? So obviously, with a simple good morning, like it's not just connecting your Google and all of a sudden Claude knows to do this stuff, right? There's an executive assistant here. I did work with Claude to get to that point where it's like, okay, what do your instructions need to be for me to just say good morning? And then you check these things. And then this is what that looks like. And we build the templates together, right? But something that is an unlock for me is when I did this yesterday, it caught some emails about contacts from HubSpot being assigned to me. So HubSpot
Ooh.
notifications. And in that moment, to your point, George, about connecting to ClickUp, email, which has been, if you watch any of my shows, one of my least favorite channels of communication, could now be my favorite if it
Uh-oh.
provides a layer. It can be a communication layer between Claude and everything else that can be set up to create notifications, right? And now it's to the point where like creating an email data model where it's like, okay, Claude, if you see a HubSpot email, this is what that means. This is what I want you to do with it. If you see an email about ClickUp, like whatever, right? All these emails have subject lines and all the rules and filters that we set up over in Gmail, right? We can.
It's
He's speechless.
I mean, like, and so this is now see this is a thing where it, and again for some people you might be thinking like, okay, well what just happened to EAs, right? Or like what just happened to like assistants in general or whatever. I don't know how many of you guys have ever worked with an assistant or have worked with an EA. They are always overloaded. Always. This is like, I don't know, heaven's gift to an EA right here, right? To be able to like crank out that daily and skip that first hour and that last hour of your day, and to be able to fit in that bagel and that coffee and not have to like just shove your food down your throat because you're too busy throwing everything together. That's insane to me for leadership team. This is
we were having some
like,
fun last night, and Nico asked me to try out the new GPT stuff. So I just took Claude's output, put it over in GPT, and said, "How should I prepare for tomorrow?"
yes.
Right? And it said things because my birthday was on there. It was like order cupcakes, and then like pick up cupcakes. There's still stuff that like unless I get up out of my seat and do it as the human being, like it's not happening. Yeah, I can't do that stuff yet. I mean, operator might be able to, but that's where it's like again, if the humans around you have spent their time just simply putting an agenda of the day together to give to you in this format, they are not spending that time on much more high value things, right? And what could they be doing for you now? So for me, that maybe the only thing that's missing now is being able to launch an email from Claude, like through the Google Workspace. But so really powerful. And at that weekend that I was trying to connect Google on my it was on my laptop, and I also connected an MCP. I actually successfully connected an MCP with HubSpot. So that's like the next level. I think for anybody is like, what other apps are coming right? And just really, really powerful to think about. But we could go on about that. Other cool stuff is happening, and I wanna pass it over to George.
Yeah, so it's interesting because of course you know me, I'm gonna go into like everything is changing. Um like all things are becoming different. Like listen, how many of us over the years have created like years of revenue for organizations like iStock Photography or well, just name the one that you've used, Adobe Stock Photography, whatever. All of that's kind of changing because we have the ability to create things that we want to create in a way that we want to create them. And so I'll go ahead and share my screen. And new in, I saw the mobile explanation, and then now it's in the desktop version. Thanks, Chris and Nico, for even letting me know that it was in here, but there was a notification of like mobile stuff earlier. And I just want to, oh, okay, you can load. That'd be great to actually be able to show. Well, I'll just show the things that actually load. There we go. Now it's loading. Okay. So I'm going to kind of take you on a little bit of a journey. Maybe it's going to take a minute because we have a
It's
few.
gonna take a minute, George. Can we allow it to take a minute with loading all these pictures?
I mean, we have
2025. Why is it even taking seconds?
we have a few images. Now, some of you might remember the episode where I got on and I was like, "Hey, this is amazing. Like the new model and like look at the snow on the beard or like look at this guy whose steering wheel isn't attached but still like look at his face in the helmet." And we talked about the racer and all of this kind of stuff, but it just depends. Here's one where they started talking about how we could actually do things to make things look like us. This does not look exactly like me, but it was fun to play with. I decided to just do the Star Wars thing and get a little bit nerdy here, but at the end of the day, I don't know what I was doing here, but I was just trying to be creative. But actually, I was unleashing the mind. Right? It's like I have this
Right.
idea and I want to see this thing and I want to see these details. But here's where it gets kind of interesting is okay, I took a photo of myself and I turned it into this like cartoon style, which by the way, online people were like, dude, like who did you pay to do your cartoons? That's the thing on LinkedIn that I got asked. I was like, oh no. This was Chat GPT that did
Right.
this. And then this is me playing with like putting the text on there, me putting myself in different poses, doing different things. This is iterations. Like I wanted thinking, but I didn't want think bubbles. So then I was like, no. I want it thinking with, but notice it has like the beads that I wear when I'm speaking, the watch,
Right.
like the cross. It's like then I said, hey, put me in front of the HubSpot sign. It didn't get it exactly right, but you can see what I'm playing around. What would it be like if there was a George B. Thomas Lego? Like,
That's
right?
so great.
So then you saw this whole thing happening on the internet where I'm like, and which man made me want to go for a walk immediately when I saw this one generate. But so I started to go through this process of like, well, how can we create like, a super admin pack of like matching hoodies and hats and like, oh, actually, let's do this accessory pack because it's a camera and I don't even think I shared this one online. And so like, then all of a sudden I was like the sidekick, like me and Jorge. And so you can just
That's
see how
awesome.
you can allow your mind to go in different directions. Now I start to play with like different claymation or bobblehead ideas of like
Oh my
bringing
God.
me in and trying to like figure out like, hey, can we make it? Which I love the yellow, by the way. I'm just saying, like, so again, all of the things, like, what if I was a Funko Pop, or what if I actually used the text and did like an inbound 2025 thing, or maybe I'm a guy from Up, like playing darts, or maybe I'm just trying to figure out, hey, this is kind of cool. I like this quote. You know what? I wonder if I can carve that quote in the wall. Like, let me see if I can carve the quote in the wall. Or this one's, by the way,
Oh man. I love this.
sometimes ChatGPT will get it wrong. And when it gets it wrong, it's so right. Because this is Jorge and I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
That is so great.
But it's me and Jorge as bagpipe players. I'm like, how did we get there, ChatGPT? But you can see even here, like, and this again was a post that I did. So, okay, it wrote it with it like upside down. The point was I wanted it to take notes. It's interesting that serve with love is what it threw in there. That's what we should all be doing. But then you can see I can iterate and make it like do these different things where this is the day in the life of, a HubSpot. So this is wrong. I'm like, hey, dude, it's a different person on the end of the camera. But then boom, look what I can do. I can make it and fix it. So it's me on the other side of the camera. And so then I'm like HubSpot tips and I'm talking on a phone and I made me a sandwich, which looks like a veggie and cheese sandwich, which I would probably never eat. There's got to be some meat on there.
Man, that must be a powerful sandwich.
Yeah,
I'm on purpose.
And so like here I'm in front of a HubSpot sign right now because I'm walking down to the. Now here's where it gets fun. So then I started playing around with like some friends of mine. So like I have a friend, his name's Mick Hunt, and he does a podcast, Mick Unplugged. It's super awesome. But I was at his house and I took a picture of him wearing this Robert Irvine deal. And so then I'm like, well, let me see what Mick looks like in different styles of like these things that I've tried historically. And by the way, this made for a great conversation where I was texting him and another buddy of mine that we were hanging out. But here's the thing. I even do this thing in the morning where, by the way, if you're spiritual, whatever. If you're not, whatever. It's your life. It's up to you. But I do this thing where I get up in the morning, I do a devotion. I do that devotion in a way that I'm like high level and deeper level. And then I make it write a blog article. And so I've been having it create these like featured images for the actual articles that we're writing. And I haven't had to go to iStock. I haven't had to go to Adobe Stock. By the way, here's a friend of mine. She owns a poodle. She has a pool. So we like literally made a thing. Like, so you can just see now all of a sudden, let's start adding text to these crossroads of ambition and grace. Like, by the way, it was one shot, ladies and gentlemen. Like this text was just on there. And by the way, anybody see the angel in the cloud? I'm just saying, I was like, ChatGPT, I love you so much right now because you're doing amazing. And so, even things like this, where like it just is so realistic, but it never existed except for in my brain or the idea. And again, now I want you to think about, you have this thing that you can create a stock library of ideas to then be able to use over time, because it's just a matter of like, edit the image and go in another direction.
I didn't see that part.
I got this bank. Let me go ahead and download it. Right. So like, imagine this, like, change the word life to something else, please. And boom, I'm off to the races, back in the original conversation, redoing the image so that I can get, but that's the other thing too. Like if you've ever wondered, where was this conversation?
Yes.
Because the image is actually part of like the other thing that I was creating. Now you go to your image, like we talk about Google image search for SEO. Hello. Maybe just add an image to every conversation you have so you can go to your image gallery to get back to the conversation that you're trying to have.
God. Every day I struggle with it.
It's just it's so powerful. So powerful.
You guys don't name your conversations well enough. I can definitely tell.
Oh man,
well, I do some. And by the way, I started using some projects as holders for certain things, like all the ultimate guides, like the deep research. Like I put them in there, because then we're creating an ultimate brain. By the way, if it's filled with ultimate guides on the things that we're actually researching. So I do some organization, but then I do name the things in a way, especially if they're like highly important. Oh, look at this guy. Look who's in my portal here. Anyway, not why we're here. But so this image will generate. It's awesome. I love it. I'm going to stop my screen and not leave the studio. I almost left the studio. All
right. Amazing. And like you said at the end there, like it's so what had to happen first. And I think so often where SaaS has tried so hard and not gotten it right is it's like you go to the UI first. You're like, okay, this cool functionality exists that you can do. But then like the underlying data and functionality doesn't work, right? So then I can't use the tool. And instead we get the image stuff like maxed out to this point where it's like, we know there's like a 99% chance that this prompt is going to do this thing and the image, and then I'm going to be done. And there's no question. I'm not going to have to go back and forth. I'm not going to have to re-prompt it. I'm not going to have to start a new chat because ChatGPT has gone off on this other route that I can't come back from. Right. And now they add in this digital asset management layer where it's just like, go check out your images right here. And this part, which I hadn't seen yet, where you can just edit it from here, it takes you back to this is like all of the digital stuff, the chats, the images, and like when are the videos coming? And this is all the stuff that
which by the way, notice this is the new image.
Right.
Same people, same scene, bread, the word bread is different, right? And so what I want people to start to understand is like, you could have a series of images with just different words or things on that table. So the amount of storyline or storytelling that you can do. By the way, these are nobody's brand colors that I know. It might be ugly as all get out, but I wanted people to see that you can say, hey, take this image, but use these brand colors to tweak it as well. Because one of the things I did yesterday that was totally crazy is I had this customer that they had these yellow graphics, and the graphics were cool, but their colors are red, blue, black, and white. And I took their images, I saved them off their website, brought them into ChatGPT, and I said, GPT, and I said, make an image like this, but use this brand color. If you haven't tried that yet, please do. Okay, I'll shut up because Nico's got to go.
We'll end with another tiny development. Nico, I don't even know if this requires a share screen, but it's just the concept itself is going to be, people aren't ready, man.
Well, I mean, like I wish that they were. We've been trying to tell them for like a couple months now, and I told you guys this was coming at the end of last year, so it's not even like an I told you so thing. It's like, well, now you're too late. And it's not like too late in terms of, well, you know, what do I do? It's just too late in terms of like trying to wrap your head around, you know, the number one reason why we try to show this stuff to you guys, the number one reason why we say like you guys got to wake up, the number one reason why we say you got to get involved and got to start messing with this stuff so that you can start figuring out for yourself where you are going to land in the mix of all of this. We can't help you with that. Like, I can't tell you what job title to go get next. I can't tell you I can try to help you leverage this stuff in what you do. We can try to help you, you know, try to figure out how you're going to best leverage these tools, you know, and we could definitely do our best to warn you. But at the end of the day, unless you're using it, you're not going to realize the value. You're not going to understand how to maximize it. So what's the rub, right? And that puts you in this category where you end up falling into the trap that Tango might eat you up in.
Right. And I've got the video ready if we want to share.
Yeah.
Which we do. Let's be honest. All right.
Stop fighting your CRM. It's not that bad, they said. The new update will help, they said. Now it's just the main culprit behind that new wrinkle on your forehead. Don't worry, we have a fix for that. No, not another face serum routine. It's Tango, and it's your new personal CRM admin. Emphasis on admin, not just another AI chatbot.
This pipeline data is incomplete. Gotta train the sales team on this again.
No more repeat lessons. Just click capture. And with a few clicks and in even fewer minutes, you'll have a completed CRM automation for your team's next process.
I'm back to back all day. Did I even log the notes for that last call?
Don't sweat it. Because Sales Ops just built you an agent for that. Your meeting info will automatically populate into your CRM from your call recording, let you supervise or complete important steps, and even research helpful info for you as it goes.
I spend more energy second-guessing CRM reports than hunting whales.
Take a load off, Fanny. Every agent automation can be equipped with rules to prevent bad mistakes and data checks. Yep, you can even cross-reference data points from other apps to keep hygiene in tip-top shape. There you go. 90% of CRM clicks gone. Bye-bye. And better pipeline quality. What have we learned today? Tango takes the busy work. You and your crew go crush those quarterly targets. Available now at tango.ai.
So
Oh man,
what you saw is like it's a tease into like a part one of a
Through the
thing.
browser. That works
Yeah.
through the browser.
Yeah, that's a Chrome extension. Right. If you've never used Tango before, I have been using Tango for sending people instructions on how to do stuff because it is like very super easy. And then I came across Scribe, so I was like, oh, okay, bye-bye. And so now that's what's gonna come next, right? If you think that this is pretty cool, wait until they haven't even announced it. I know that they will. It doesn't matter, like it's just time. Scribe is gonna drop it next. And if you've been using Scribe, you know how many pre-saved actions are in that mofo, even when you're in your HubSpot instance. And
in the copy for this Tango AI page, like besides nailing the voice of the users who get frustrated with this, right, and all these things that we try and they never work. This is when we talk about let's not try to get humans to solve these problems anymore because they've never been able to and they never will. Like this is the kind of stuff we're talking about, right? But also on that page, they're like, we launched 5 years ago and we know all of the processes that have been set up by people. And that's the data that they're using.
Yep.
And the way people iterate on those processes based on the challenges that show up from sales users, from service users, from everybody in the system, that's what taught these tools, right? And we're going to see more and more of that, like Nico said. You will not be able to stop this from coming. Like,
it's only just
right? And just imagine if that value prop is true, 90% of clicks gone and improved data.
Yeah, why not?
Like,
wow.
Why wouldn't
why not?
And there's no reason to believe that's not going to be real, like based on all of our history with CRMs.
And that's just like, that's kid stuff. Next step is like hands-off version.
Right.
Which is like, if you want to know what next step is, if you haven't been paying attention to the timeline, I can guarantee you next step is like June, July. I kind of thought I knew what was coming out during inbound. I think those guys are probably going to be reworking it by summer.
Well, yeah, we're going to see how all this stuff converges. So we'll wrap here with just one more. I
told you it might be ugly. But still,
it's so great though.
But still, same image, right? But now the bread sign has the branded colors because that's the direction that I was going in. Like I've said, hey, change the verbiage to this, and now use these brand colors, and it's like. And
next, maybe get this guy a little more excited about having some bread.
Happy. Yeah, maybe happy. Here's the thing, though. I want to unlock something. Like if you historically haven't been fascinated, excited, or embraced iteration, now's the time. Like fall in love with iterating your own ideas. Because that's where this is at right now. Like, well, what if? Oh, maybe this. Or what it, and then you stumble across these like magic moments.
Yes. And usually here's where I'd say get in there and find the opportunity. Just get in there and it will find the opportunity for you. And let's grow. Have a great day, everybody.